Hello, good morning, students. I am Vikram Singh Rathod, Assistant Professor at Center for E-Governance. Today I am presenting the operations on list data types. Now that we are learned what lists are and how to use loops, we are going to our law or how to work with list today. Lists are important key to any program in Python, so we need to understand our capabilities when using them. There are various kind of functions used with the list data types in Python. Number first, for example, checking length. Often we will need to know how many items are within a list. To do so, we use the len function. And let us behind the example. We create a list 1 and put element 5, 10 and 15 and then count the list item using len function. Here I define a len variable is equal to length variable is equal to len and put nums and write the print statement and put the length variable. The output is 3 because of list have 3 elements. Then after slicing of the list, a few days back we talked about slicing a string on arrays using numpy. List is also work as same way, that's you are able to access a specific item. For example, import numpy as np and then create a list 1 is equal to np dot array and put the elements 1 to 10 in a list and print list. Our output is 1 to 10. The list is created. Then after slicing operation on the list, I am also define some example of slicing, such as our first statement print list 1 colon 3. It will work as output item index from 1 and 2. Then after print list 1 colon 2 will output item in index 0 to 1 index number in the list. Then print list 1 double colon 2 will print every other index such as -0, then 2, then 4, etc. Then print list 1 -2 colon will output the last 2 items in the list. We can also add a new item in a list, predefined list. Python has 2 methods for doing this. Number 1 is append. The append will always add the value within the parenthesis to the back of the list. Let us see example. Adding an item to the back of a list using append function. Here we define list 1 as a list and its elements such as 10 and 20. Then we append 5 into list 1. We write the code here list 1 dot append and put 5 into our into append function and then print the list 1. Our output is 10, 20 and 5. It means the 5 is append in the list 1 that is created first IAM. Then after insert operation on the list, the second method to add item to a list in using insert method. This method requires an index to insert a value into a specific location or index number. Let us see an example. Adding a value to the beginning of the list. For example, word is a list and it used to string value ball and base, and then nums dot insert, then put the index number and put the new append value as a glow in a string. First number is the index and second is the value. The output will result in glow, ball and boxes. Glow is in the 0 index, no, because we specified that index within our insert method. Then after, we can also remove the item from a list. There are several ways to remove the items from a list. The following are the main two methods. Number 1, pop method, and number 2, remove method. By default, the pop method removes the last item in the list. However, you can specify an index to remove as well. This method is always widely used to save the remove item too. When pop is used, it not only remove the item but also return it. This allows us to save that value into a variable to be used later. For example, using pop to remove item and saving to a variable to use later. Here we define a item list name is equal to and put integer value 5, string value ball and boolean value true. Then we write the second statement in Python, item.pop function by default remove all the last item. Remove underscore item is equal to item.pop 0. It's remove 5 and save it into the variable, and then print remove underscore item slash n comma items. Using pop, we can see that it remove the true item first, then the element in index 0 which happened to be the integer 5. While popping it out of the list, we save it into a variable which we later output along with the new list. Then we understand dot remove method for removing the element in a list. Here we define an example. Items is equal to 5 comma ball comma true. Then item dot pop by default remove all the last item. Remove item is equal to item dot pop index 0 value, remove 5 and save it into the variable, print remove underscore slash n item. Here we see that the output is our spot list without source because we were able to remove it correctly. Know the reason why we use a try and except with the removal because if source didn't exist in the list, then the program would crash. Then we define working with numerical list data types. Python provided few functions for us to use on list of numerical data types such as min, max and sum. There are several more than we can use, though these are used most frequently. For example, using max, min or sum, we define a example. We create a nums list and put the element 5, 3, 9 and then print min and then write the list name. We will find the lowest number in the list, that is 3. Then print max, then print list name. We will find the highest number in the list, that is 9. Print sum, then put the list name. We add all numbers in the list and return the sum of our values, that is 17. Then after, we can also sort the list items. Often you will need to work with a sorted list. There are a couple methods for doing so, but they are very different. One will change the original list while the other return as a copy. Then after, discuss sorted function. The sorted function will work on either numerical or alphabetical list, but not one that is mixed. Sorted or return a copy of list, so it is doesn't alter the original. Usually if you need to keep the original intact, be sure to use this function. Let us example using sorted on the list for numerical and alphabetical data. Here we define a nums list and put values 5, 8, 0, 2. Then we define a variable sorted underscore nums is equal to sorted function. Then put the list, it save a new variable to use later. Then print nums comma sorted underscore nums, the original list is intact. You will notice that output of our nums list is still in original order. When we declare it to use the new sorted list, we simply save it to a new variable. Then after discuss dot sort method. This method is used for the same purpose that our previous sorted function is used for. However, it will change the original list directly. Then define the example nums is equal to 5, 0, 8, 3. Then nums dot sort function is defined here. It alter the original variable directly, and then print nums, the sorted list is our output, such as 0, 3, 5, then 8. The result output will be properly sorted list. Just remember that the nums variable is now changed, as dot sort method change the values directly. Thanks.